Hey, it's Brian Wright, Daily B 124. I hate meetings. I'm not kidding. I hate meetings. Hey, Brian Wright from BrianWright732.com and fitin.com, PHITIN.com. And I just threw it down that I hate meetings. I'm going to correct it. I hate the way most people run meetings. I don't hate the way I run meetings, or I don't hate the way everyone does, but most. Because most people, what they do is they run meetings because it's a CYA sitch, cover your ass. They bring everybody into a room, they throw out an idea, everybody then just covers their ass for a while and nothing really gets accomplished. A lot of things will get listed out, everybody pats each other on the back, or everybody gets a beat down from the boss and they move on. It's just not the way to go. Meetings are supposed to be a gathering of people to further a company and an idea. When the leader speaks first, it's all ruined because it dictates how everything's going to go, and you never really get what the people are trying to say. Nelson Mandela said something once about his father and why he was so successful as a tribal leader. And he said that they always sit in a circle and he's the last one to speak. And if you really want to be an effective leader and you want to run good meetings, you have to develop trust so that people can freely communicate and let you know what's actually going on instead of you hearing what they think you want to hear, which is what ends up happening so many times. Someone close to me works for a company where they constantly have meetings that really just are a massive waste of time because it's junior people telling senior people what they already know and really don't care to hear again, but are going through the motions because they feel that's what companies are supposed to do. So it's a massive waste of time. It's a huge amount of pressure, and there's a tremendous amount of judgment on the presentation of information, which nobody even cares about. So it's just a massive waste of time, and it's a negative situation. When people could be doing their jobs, instead, again, they're telling people stuff they already know, don't want to hear again, and are just going through the motions on. It's such a waste. If you're going to have a meeting, use it as an opportunity to get to know what's going on in your company, what's going on with your people, and do it in a way that gives them the trust so that they can communicate and that their problems are going to be addressed or their voices are going to be heard or they're going to be able to have an impact. These are the things that motivate people. You know, if you look at the military, they talk about each other as brothers and sisters. In companies, we don't speak in that familiar a term. And that's because in the military, they're trusting each other in life and death scenarios. And they live in proximity to each other, and they've developed relationships where they really are family because they have a common idea with a common job and a common purpose, and their life is on the line. And if you look at your company, I'm not going to disrespect the military in terms of what they have to do compared to company life, but your company is responsible for the lives of people. It is responsible for the success, for the happiness, for the sense of well-being that people have. So the opportunity to have a familiar feeling is there if leadership does its job. If leadership is constantly just dictating what it needs for it to survive, it will never create the bonds necessary to get the best out of people. Companies are not just money and transactions. It's all about relationships. The person on top should be worrying about the person below them, who's going to worry about the person below them, and on and on and on until we hit the customer. So when the CEO of your company says that they're doing what they're doing for the customer, they're full of crap because, how long has it been since they actually dealt with the customer? They're hiring people to deal with the customer, and they're hiring people to deal with the people that deal with the customer, and people to deal with that person and the next person, and on and on and on. And that's the layers of bureaucracy that companies have. And to use an excuse that you're behaving the way you are because you're trying to service the customer is a bunch of bullshit. You're really just trying to service your own needs and your own insecurities and your own inadequacies as a leader. If you're going to be a good leader, you're going to focus on the person directly below you, and you're going to give them what they need to feel successful and satisfied and happy and supported and whatnot, so that they are going to do the same thing to the person below them, and on and on and on and on. That's how trust, that's how that familiar relationship's developed. And again, I don't think we will ever be family with the people that we work with because, again, there's a financial transaction involved. There's a mutual beneficial trade that's going on, hopefully. This is not a blood relation situation. So we have to trust each other on a professional level. We have to trust each other on a familiar level, but we will never really be family. But we have to treat each other with the same respect that we would treat family because we actually spend as much time or more at work with each other than we do with our own families in a lot of cases. So leadership is really important. And I started this out with talking about meetings, and now we're talking about, the relationships in companies. But the way we run meetings is exactly how our relationships are dictated in the company. If we are micromanaging from the top down and never allowing people to express themselves, meetings just become a rallying point for your personal agenda. If meetings are an opportunity for people to get together and speak and develop that trust, they're going to then go and operate as leaders with that trust, and they're going to take the situation that's developing in those meetings, and they're going to bring it to every other situation in the company. So your company will have a better opportunity to express itself, to feel that its voice can be heard, to feel that its voice matters, to feel that it can trust other people in the company. That is more valuable than the dollars that you're going to pay. If you develop a trust that satisfies people, that puts people in a position that they feel that you actually care, you can get so much more done. And now translate that from the top down. If the top is behaving that way and it goes all the way down to the front line, how do you think the customer is going to feel? When you have someone that loves their job, they're going to always give the customer the better experience. So how you run your meetings really can dictate how you run your company. It can create the culture in which your company operates. So if the interactions, the micro meetings of one-on-one and the macro meetings of upper management all together in a room, if they all function the same way, where we are functioning on an empathetic level, if we're being respectful of communication, we're not trying to dictate where everything's going to go all the time, but we're allowing things to, everyone to have a voice, and for that to be what controls the situation instead of one person saying, this is what I need. Hey, every once in a while, you've got to come down from on high and you've got to say, look, guys, this is what I need to achieve. But if you're doing that every time, they stop listening after 2 or 3 times. They just sit there, oh boy, here it goes again. But if that's 1 in 100, because you've got a good dialogue going, everything's going to be more effective. So understand how you lead. Are you leading as an iron-fisted, crazy micro-management person? Or are you allowing people to do the jobs that you hired them to do, allowing them to feel like they're part of a situation because you're allowing them to speak and they're allowed to express their ideas and they're allowed to actually participate? Are you creating robots or are you allowing people to be people? Are you hiring the right people? Are you focusing on your company so that it will be positive and progressive and aggressive and satisfied and happy from the top all the way down so the customer gets the best experience and that you get the best bottom line because you are providing basically customer service all the way through? So get out of the I'm doing this for the customer mentality and start doing for the guy standing next to you. That is your brother in battle. So think about your meetings. Sit in a circle and shut the fuck up until everybody else has talked. Because it's really important that you listen. Because when you listen and you're empathetic and you appreciate where people are coming from, you're going to develop trust. And once you develop trust, then you now have the right to ask. And that ask is whatever you need them to do. But you can't ask people to do something just because you pay them money. You have to be able to ask because you respect their skill set and you respect their contribution to your company. So if you want to increase your bottom line, increase your ability to actually lead. It's not do. I don't care what you can do. I care what you can inspire other people to do because that is a scalable thing. That is something that can grow beyond you. So stop worrying about you. Start actually worrying about your company, which is the people. And they will worry about your customers for you. And then everything will be better. All right, Daily B, I'm out. Hey, Brian Wright again. Thank you so much for watching this. Please like, share, comment. Let me know what's going on. I really am trying to get my message out, because there are just so many people out there that you're just getting caught in the minutiae of your business and you're not thinking deeply enough about it. So let's think about our business. Let's make better business, and let's make positive situations for all the people around us, because at the end of the day, that's the only way we increase the bottom line. It's not by cutting costs, it's by investing in people. So that's the message. I'll talk to you